Hi everybody, good afternoon. Good afternoon, all that's watching this today. Hope everyone's doing all right. All the beautiful souls that are with me. It's a bit foggy out, big misty. It's not cold though, but it's misty. And yeah, I'm just going out for another ruck walk today. I been busy. Been trying to really be in touch in the moment, right? And I wanted to talk about that, right? Being present in the moment. You know, maybe this doesn't apply to everyone, but when I think about my childhood, I get nostalgia, right? I get nostalgia for just how things were, how innocent I was, and just how, good things used to be, right? Because I didn't know things, and like I was like so full of life, and while I did go through, different hardships, I still look back fondly on how things were. And I think part of why I feel that way is because when I was a child, I was really living in the moment. I was really present, right? Nowadays there's so many distractions, there's so many things that are going on that people are dealing with, responsibilities that you didn't have as a child, right? My parents used to say like, oh man, you want to be an adult, but oh man, no you don't. Once you get older, it's over. Not actually over, obviously, but you have a lot more responsibilities than you did before, paying bills, right? Dealing with different people, dealing with different responsibilities, like if you have a car, or if you're like renting, or school, getting a job, getting a career, etc. A whole bunch of different things, right? Whereas when you're a kid, you're not, a lot of kids aren't thinking that far forward, right? Obviously some people have different objectives, right? And are able to go see themselves do the things that it is that they want to do. But a lot of people are living in the present, right? And I think it's really important to really get in touch, or get back in touch with that, being able to live in the present. That's not to say to ignore your responsibilities and just do whatever it is you want, right? There's still like some ounce of you got to use your discernment. There we go. When I say this, but being able to live in the present is, I think, something that is lost among a lot of people because of how many distractions there are. People use their phones a lot. And people are living vicariously, or living through people's lives vicariously, right? Being always seeing other people, not worrying about themselves, right? And while that's not everyone, obviously, but that's a lot of people. And a lot of different mechanisms in society are designed to keep us stuck in a loop, right? Stuck in a loop to where we are not present within our own realities, but we're only focused about other people's reality. The media, social media, news media, always worried about other things instead of worrying about your own life. And while, I think it's important to be up to date on what's going on with certain things, right? There comes a point where you need to also be aware of what's going on with your own life, right? And being able to be present, do the things it is that you want to do the things that it is that you need to do, right? And being able to do that consistently to be able to achieve your goals or your desires, right? Whatever it is that you want, right? That's why when I think about my childhood, I think about how things used to be and how present I was. I was like, oh man, I'll just give an example. I used to play a lot of games, right? And I think about now when I play games, it's not nearly as quote unquote fun, which could be for a multitude of reasons, right? But I think the main reason is because I'm not nearly as present in playing the games as I was then. I'm like either too worried about something else, or I just don't care enough about the game to be able to actually connect with it, or maybe I'm just older, you know, whatever it is, right? But before, you know, when I was a kid, I was so present. I was like, oh my goodness, this is so good. Like, didn't matter what it was, right? Another thing, you know, different relationships, right? Friendships. You know, I look back on just different things that I had, you know, different people that I talked to and how present I was. You know, being able to constantly do things, whether it be at school or maybe at someone's house or my house, you know what I mean? Like, just being able to live in the present is something that's lost among, I'm willing to wager, a lot of people. You know, a lot of people are not able to live in their own realities because they're so caught up in other people's realities to be able to focus on their own, right? And so I encourage whoever's watching this, man, take a second, you know, look within, ask yourself, what is it that you want to do right now? What is it that you need to do right now? And be able to live in the moment, right? I think something that I've been trying to do more consistently, especially on my journey, is reading again, right? Because I used to not really read that much, right? That's not to say that I can read really well, but I just didn't do it. Buenas tardes. Yeah, I didn't really read as much. And so what I do now is that I sit with myself and I just engage with whatever book that I'm reading, and I read it out loud. I read it out loud to myself so that I'm like actively engaged reading it, right? No distractions whatsoever. And I think it's really helped me to not only be able to build my attention to the things it is that I want to do, but also just be able to, first of all, articulate my ideas, right? Because I still struggle with that, but I'm getting better. And so by actively like speaking out different words and you know, engaging with books, I feel like I'm more able to articulate my ideas, right? But not only that, just being able to build my attention and to just be present. Sit still for a little bit of time and actually engage with something instead of just constantly like scrolling or just trying to find some entertainment, you know, some cheap dopamine, right? It's very easy to get stuck in those cycles of cheap dopamine, right? I mean, dopamine, that's the happy chemical. Of course, you want to always be happy, so why wouldn't you want to do things that make you happy, right? Or at least things that are designed to trick your brain into making you happy, right? But yeah, that's just one thing that I've been doing, you know, to keep myself, or to help build my attention and to help myself actually live in the moment. Another thing, you know, is just doing activities that I actually like doing, right? You know, I have my own responsibilities, but I still try to dedicate time to doing things that I like to do, right? One thing that I've talked about on this channel before is drawing. You know, that's something that I told myself as a kid that I couldn't do. And so in the process of dismantling that limiting belief, I would just draw, right? Just try to draw different things that I'm interested in, right? And being able to be present and doing something that I actually like, right? You know, has helped me to not only gain confidence within myself, being like, hey, you know what, I can do this thing, but also, you know, it's just nice. You know, it's therapeutic to do things that you like, but it has to be something that you actually want to do, right? It could be anything, you know. If you like reading, right? If there's people that you like hanging out with, you know, if you like drawing, or if you like creating things, right? whether it be coding or, creating ideas, writing, literature, music, whatever it is that you like to do, right? A physical activity, if you like to partake in sports or, certain athletic things, like whether it be like martial arts or, I can't think right now. my head is kind of hurting, but you get the idea. Just doing things that it is that you actually like and actually engaging with them will help you to better be able to live in the present, and I believe will in turn help you long term to not only refocus your attention on the things it is that you might want to do / need to do, but also allow you to just be able to live in the present. Being able to live in the present is a beautiful thing, man, because there's so much beauty around us. Just before I started this video, I saw 3 birds. Perched up on the fence, and that was immaculate. I didn't take a picture. That's okay. I have it in my mind. Being able to be present, man, it's beautiful. How much this world has to offer when you're not on your phone. But yeah, that's what I got for you today, man. I'm gonna go back outside soon. Just gotta put this away. If you're seeing this, I love you. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Make sure to take care of yourself, because the only person who can take care of you is you. And always remember, try to be present in the moment. There's so much to be observed. Have a good one.